Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan if you're new here, and today I'm actually just going to share with you our current homeschool reads. I'm actually going to be sharing a few books that I'm reading as well in addition to our homeschool. So first, I'm going to start with our history read alouds. We are actually doing Story of the World as our history this year, and we are doing volume 1, which is on ancient history. So for this week and next week, we are specifically studying, we will need this, the Babylonians, and most of these books are from our library. We do have a lot of other books that we will probably read through and pull in as well, but most of what I'm sharing today is the ones we are going to be using from our library. So we are using this book, The Babylonians, Life in Ancient Babylon, for part of our study. We are also going to be reading and learning about Roman myths. We are also going to be reading about and discovering the 7 wonders of the ancient world. So even though we are studying ancient times, we also are going to are taking the chance to read more about Black history, since it is officially Black History Month in February. So some of the books that we are reading for that is, we have been reading this one, Who Was George Washington Carver? And then this book, Rosa, about Rosa Parks. And then we also are using, and I should have pulled it out, but the book Follow the Drinking Gourd. And I actually have a whole lesson that I used to do with my class, because I used to be a public school teacher, actually a public school music teacher. And so I have a whole lesson, really a whole unit study that goes along with that, I will actually be doing with that. So those are our kind of history related books. The next thing I am going to share are a couple of books that my oldest son is reading. It just so happens that they are history related. I was talking to them about the Titanic not too long ago, and I let them watch part of a documentary about the Titanic, and so it really interested him. And so when we went to the library, this time he was the only one that went with me, so he was the only one that got like books for himself this time. But he got this book from the I Survived series, and then he also got the Can You Survive the Titanic book. This is really cool. I don't know if you have ever read these, or if your children have ever read these, but it's basically like a choose your own adventure book, and you find out if the choices you make would land you as a survivor of the Titanic. So he read through this pretty much in a day. He really liked this, and I think yes, because there's his bookmark. He is currently in this one as we speak. Okay, so the next one is a couple of read alouds that we are reading. The other one we are actually listening to on audiobook. We are currently listening to 2 different ones, actually. It is an E.B. White kind of month, apparently, because the 2 books that we are currently listening to as audiobooks are Stuart Little and Trumpet of the Swan. We actually have read Trumpet of the Swan before, but we are doing it over again. Okay, so the other 2 books that we are reading as our read alouds, we have not started this yet, but we are getting ready to start this one. And we are currently reading this one, and my 5-year-old daughter absolutely adores this book. So I knew that she would, though. It's just so sweet, and I'm sure she will be hooked on this series. The next books, I'm going to save this one over here for last because I was excited that my library even had it. But the books that I have read or am currently reading this month, I actually just finished this one. I have talked about it in a couple of my videos. Your Money Counts. It's God's direction for spending, saving, giving, investing, and getting out of debt. So as I shared in a previous video, we actually went through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University 10 years ago. But we just needed a revamp and kind of wanted more of a study that was more like a Bible study with money. And our church actually offers a class called Compass, which is from this ministry, from Compass, Finances God's Way. So anyway, part of the class is you read this book before you officially start the classes. And it is a wonderful book. It is really good. It's a really easy read. It does have good information as well, but it just really deals with the heart of your finances, which is fabulous. So the other book I am reading is this one by Sarah May and Sally Clarkson called Desperate: Hope for the Mom Who Needs to Breathe. How many of us moms need to breathe? I know that currently I'm in like a really crazy season of my life, and I just really need this refreshment. And so, yeah, so that's the other one I'm reading. And for fun, I've heard a ton of people talk about this book, and I've actually never read a book. I don't think I've ever read a book from this genre as an adult. And so I'm actually excited about starting this one. I'm actually starting it tonight. So yeah, anyway, so this is what I will be reading as a for fun book. And then the last book that we are reading this month in our homeschool is actually this. I'm super excited about this book that they had at our library, National Parks of the USA. There's the authors. So I think I'm actually going to turn the camera around so that you guys can see inside this, but it is just absolutely beautiful. Actually, I'll just hold it up. How about that? It's absolutely beautiful. It is all the national parks and these beautiful and fun pictures. So Sequoia and Kings Canyon. So then it kind of outlines each park. I think after checking this book out, I'm actually going to order this book because it is really beautiful, and the outdoors, that is a very important part of our family's life. And I would just really love to own this book. I think it's a great reference tool, especially since next year we will be doing U.S. history as our history focus. So there's just a few pages there as an example. So those are our reads for this month. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope you found some good or some new books to read for your own homeschool. And if you have read any of these or have suggestions for next month's reads, put that in the comments down below. Make sure to push that subscribe button and join us on future videos.